light novels, Fugaku is one of the few Uchiha who have ever unlocked the Mangekyo Sharingan. During the Third Great Ninja War, his genjutsu earned him a do not engage order and the nickname Wicked Eye Fugaku Uchiha. Danzo acknowledged him as being a generational genius, and his abilities were mentioned in the same breath as the legendary Sanin and Jonin Minato Namikaze, to the point where he was on the short list of 4th Hokage candidates after the Third Ninja War. Strong enough in genjutsu that he was confident he could control the Nine Tails, and he was able to bring Itachi down to his knees with only genjutsu. Even Itachi wasn't sure he could defeat his father in a one-on-one battle on the night of the Uchiha massacre. The same Itachi would go on to one-shot Orochimaru only a few months later in the timeline. Sasuke Uchiha might be one of the strongest.
That is not the same Itachi. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, we're gonna, it's only 2 or 3 points that I have actually a problem with, but either way, I'm
that was pretty strong himself. How strong was Fugaku Uchiha? Well, based off what we know from the anime and the 2 Itachi light novels, right? Fugaku is one of the few Uchiha who have.
He's comparing sick deathbed Itachi, which arguably at that time Itachi for one not only has so much experience. Training,
I don't think he is, though, bro.
What's it
also
called?
has 3 more abilities.
Yeah, so like he has Susanoo, the Yatamir, fucking the sword, like all these hacks. And you know,
Amaterasu, Tsukiyomi. There you go.
Yeah,
no.
Not even.
I don't think he's.
Yeah, go.
He's not talking about that Itachi though. He's talking about the one that like put Orochimaru genjutsu with the 3 Tomoe Sharingan, like that Itachi.
Yeah, but he had the MS then.
Okay, with that implication, correct. But here, let me play it again. Hang on.
He had the MS at that point.
I know the visuals.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go point by point with what he's saying. Before we do that, though, from what you guys just heard, regardless of the Itachi thing that he compared when he was showing fighting Orochimaru, what are your thoughts on Fugaku? How far do you scale him? And do you think he should be a little bit more respected? Or a little bit more like appreciated as a character. Let's say that.
I don't know. I just think his whole he was basically the one who's trying to be a catalyst towards the coup, you know. And Itachi had like different ideologies about that, and so like that's the one thing I don't necessarily agree with is like throwing a coup against the village. You know what I mean? But in terms of his prowess and what he's been through as a shinobi, it's hard to not like respect him. You know?
Yeah.
Having the Mangekyo, being a fucking candidate for the Hokage, you know, etc. You know, definitely, yeah, revered for sure.
Yep, absolutely, and even Danzo, you know what I mean? Like the fact that he didn't really like fuck with him, you know what I mean? That he was like planning and trying to strategize, like, how are we gonna deal with the Oh, okay, here we go. It's Hachi. That's how, because he won't fight him. That's how he beat Fugaku. What's it called? But yeah, no, just there's a lot of good ways you can kind of go about it. But okay, no, I feel you absolutely. Who else? What else you got?
Sticking around Joni Minato level power, you know,
it's impressive. Okay,
I mean,
now I'm gonna be real.
Okay, wait. Does he actually have that do not engage like warning on him?
Yeah, he does. He's feared across all the country, just like Minato. Feared across the whole world, the country.
He gotta be in that range of power then. Hold up.
Yeah, like he's no joke. What's it called? So like he's up there. But that, you know, now obviously the whole thing with that is, you know, his whole thing is Wicked Eye. You know what I mean? He's known for, you know, anime novel. He has Mangekyo, so it's safe to assume he more likely has it in the manga as well. But either way, people trip about it. But either way, like, you know, he's really, really strong. But even if you take away the Mangekyo, that's even just worse. That makes him even more of a threat, because if he's that strong and feared, okay, and let's say he hypothetically only has 3 Tomo, like, that's fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that he's that strong, he doesn't even have him in Mangekyo. Like, if we, like, let's go by that argument of logic and be like, oh no, fuck that, you know, anime and fucking novels, that ain't canon, fuck that, you know, whatever. What's it called? Let's say you go by that logic, that technically doesn't even really help you, because if he's that strong without a Mangekyo, imagine him with a Mangekyo, okay, and so on and so forth. So it's just go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
It took him a long time to unlock the Mangekyo. Anyways, like in the last war, he was fucking doing work, man.
The third war, that's when he awakened it, right? It was the Third Great Ninja War, right? Yeah.
What's that, man?
It was a Third Great Ninja War, right? The one where we saw Minato fighting in. Yeah.
And he didn't unlock the Mangekyo towards like the very end, essentially, you know. So it's like he was doing work without it, man. Perfectly fine.
And that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
doing
Yeah,
some fucking,
he never
doing
had
some
to use
fucking
it.
third eye Obito shit.
Yep. You know what I mean? So, like, that actually happened in the manga as well, where it was an anime manga to where he literally says, "Hey, like, let us help with the Nine Tails." You know what I mean? We have the Sharingan, blah blah. We can be a valuable asset. And they said, no, you guys stay back, whatever, we'll handle yada yada, because they were basically thinking of them as the suspects to cause the incident. And I'll be real with you, if they actually let Fugaku intervene in the Uchiha, like,
He would have stopped that shit.
it would have been stopped. Yeah, like, you could arguably say that, like, you know, Minato wouldn't have had to die. They could maybe figure out some other type of ceiling, whatever, yada yada. Like, there would have been a lot more help. Now, the reason why they didn't is because Hiruzen and Danzo in the back of their head, you know, they're paranoid to a degree. At the end of the day, it's Uchiha. Two, what's it called? It could backfire, because if they were to control the Nine Tails, what's to say they wouldn't, you know, prioritize on that incident and be like, okay, everything's all fucked and chaotic. This is the best point to fight them and win and take over the village. Should we maybe go that route? You know what I mean? So that's more than the reasoning of what they were thinking. They were worried that they would be betrayed by the Uchiha, and obviously for two, that it was the Uchiha, which wasn't dumb, you know, we know who it was, you know, but dickhead Obito, but it's all good in the hood, and it was incredible, and it was fun to watch. So that's it's a really good thing to bring up as well. If a
14-year-old child Obito can control the Nine Tails, what makes you think a man who's on the same level of like Joni Minato can?
Yeah, like, you know, like, it's just really weird. It's just really fucking weird. So yeah, absolutely. And then not only that, like, it was just even like, I would have to look even more deeper into it, because I know I'll find a bunch of shit. I don't know really anything with the novels and stuff, because I'm gonna be ordering all those on Amazon, and I'll be reading through every single one to get that knowledge. But what's it called? But at least for anime and manga, there was a good bit, and I do remember this kind of briefly. Even when he was like a kid, he was really like fucking talented. I mean, he's a genius. You know, he's a genius shinobi. So where do you think fucking Itachi and Sasuke got their shit from, you know? Not from the mom, no offense. Not from her, bro. The fuck? She had to be saved from what? Like a 5-year-old Itachi with chakra control, and he did what fucking Tsunade and Sakura did to the fucking boulder that was being launched towards them. Fucking, she's a Jonin. He's not even a fucking Genin, and he saves her ass. You know, so, but yeah, so, like, you know, definitely would say that. But we'll continue on, and who else got something to say about Mr. Fugaku?
I think I'm the only one left.
I've only heard 2 people.
No, Ken ain't here, so...
Why is Ken not here? What the fuck you doing?
I don't know.
And
I don't know what the heck is
how
going.
you speak for me, Loki? We are gonna throw hands.
You're always muted. Fucking
I was
speak.
muted. It's loud in my background.
Shit.
Okay, then speak. Go
He said,
first.
Speak, speak, boy, speak.
Fucking speak.
Go to treat.
I'll speak when I want to speak.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, right?
I don't have a lot of good things. I don't have a lot to say about Fugaku.
Okay.
I actually haven't said a whole lot. Because even with what he said, like, he's got like scaling up the Sonin. Like, what is the Sonin at that level? Like, how do we scale from there? Like, then we get Itachi, but we know that that's not Itachi's peak and all that. Then we got Minato, but we know Minato gets stronger. His best scaling is off A and B. We don't really know where they are, so I think it's still very questionable where he would be.
Yeah.
I had to
you can at least infer with the Minato thing, with joining Minato, that he has to be somewhat compatible to fight against a KCM1 level of scaling, right? Wouldn't you say that?
Not necessarily, because the scaling that we have for Minato being on KCM level is Hokage. So unless you think joining Minato is still relative to his Hokage self, and then I guess that's fair, but...
Yeah.
Isn't Hokage relative to KCM2 and then Jonin?
Yes, there's arguments to scale KCM scale fourth Kage Minato to KCM2, and like speed, not like he's the same exact power level and durability. No, fuck all that. But speed wise and everything, yes, there's a way to do it, but it's not concretely able to be like proven, but it's more subjectively likely. So that's why a lot of people are more intend to believe it and accept it. that line of scaling. So I'm not gonna be over here and be like, oh, this is absolute, and you know what I mean, whatever, be some fucking 6 type shit, and just, don't get me wrong, I love Minato. I'm all up for it all day, every day. Maybe in a debate, by all means, whatever. But if I'm being humble and being at least applying some fucking type of integrity, it's there for you whether if you believe it or not. It's that simple.
If you wanted a definitive scaling of where I would put Fugaku at the time that he was alive, I would say he's probably around the same level as like Kage A at that point in time.
Okay.
I think he could probably beat A though.
Yeah. Now, what I will say, we're gonna play the video real quick. We're gonna go point by point because I believe everybody went right except for me.
No,
Okay,
not me.
No, okay, yeah, you go ahead, Logan. My bad.
Well, actually, about Minato and Casey thing.
Yeah.
Batman. You're wrong. It's KCM1 and Tobiyama one-shots, bro. Like Tobiyama one-shot.
Fuck me. I don't know shit.
Yeah.
Fuck I know.
Okay,
Stupid
so...
asshole.
Yeah. Okay, so about Fugaku, like, I don't know, bro. If you hit the scaling, it's pretty impressive. Like, the statements, they sound good, but, like, we don't have anything. Like, that's
that's obviously the cons with Fugaku, where let's say you're on the other side and you're debating against a character. Let's say like the debate's about, I don't fucking know, Fugaku versus Legendary Sonic, one of them, or versus Yellow Flash Minato. That is at least talked about. I have heard that a good bit about when people say, what if Minato and Fugaku fought, because they were kind of heavily compared in certain ways, yada yada, or talked about a lot. And I'm gonna be real with you. What's it called? Like, that's what it kind of brings the question, like, all right, where does Fugaku, blah, blah, but let's say you're arguing for Minato's side. Minato has feats. He has the War Arc feats, he has 4th Hokage feats, he has his feats when he was Jonin. All that shit, in the war with Kakashi, written in Obito as well, not just with the A fight. Like, he has shit to go off, to back up, okay? So, when it comes to concretely scaling people wise, and obviously based on feats alone, like for instance, there's the whole thing of like Saitama versus Goku. Where's the feats? Yeah, okay, he has a lot of good statements, blah blah, this whatever, implicate yada 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 yada, but he hasn't shown. Yes, Saitama. But this is like around the time where it was very contentious and where you had people like losing their minds. Like you have all the Dragon Ball people that are like diehard fans and like, nah, fuck you, bald head man dies, whatever. Goku's like, some multiverse, or I don't know, all this shit, blah blah, whatever, which is fine. It is what it is. It's Goku.
Saitama's a gag character, GG.
Yeah, and so there was just so much crazy stuff with it. But bottom line is, it was similar to what we're talking about now. It's like he has all these great statements and implications or things you could take maybe, hyper literally, even though it's more than likely a hyperbole or whatever, yada yada, whatever. But either way, like, so with that type of way, great. But then again, he doesn't have feats to that level of line of scaling it. So it's like, are you sure about that? You could be wrong technically. We won't know until more writing of the manga or anime comes out. So it's kind of similar to that with Fugaku, unfortunately. And this was to one of my videos that I did back then. I don't know if you guys ever watched it, but it was called Naruto Shinobi Legends. Sakuma Hatsuki, he was one of the characters I did first. Eventually, I'm going to be doing a second episode of that pretty soon, because I want to continue that and do a lot. Basically, what that whole series is of, like, what we as the audience for Naruto and people should have been able to see. Like, let's say after Naruto Shippuden finished, instead of immediately going to Boruto, they should have had another series that's showing, like, all the moments we never got to see, like, all the off-screen fights. So, meaning, like, Hanzo versus Legendary Sonic, or fucking 8th Gate, or Dad's, Guy's fucking dad doing the 8th Gate against the Swordsman, or Fugaku in the war and getting feats from him, Shishui getting more feats and experience from him. Like, I can go on and on and on. You know what I mean? Yeah, that too, that fight. Like, there's, like, that's what they should have done. It should have been called, like, Naruto Shinobi Legends or Tales, whatever. Something, Kishimoto could have fucking done it, or winged it, okay? Made a shit ton more money, because he knows everybody. At the end of the day, no matter what, no matter how good Boruto can maybe get, or whatever the case can be, it's always going to be where it's at with Naruto and Shippuden. Always, no matter what. It's just how it can be.
We talked about this, dude. Like that would be amazing, but considering how much money and attention they're trying to put towards Boruto, it's just very unlikely right now. Because that would just
as of now, like but that's what I'm saying. Like, if they took the right direction and kind of waited a bit, this way they could not only they would have more time to write Boruto, really evaluate things, you name it, and not feel so rushed or feel so pressured to have excellence. Because come on, let's be real. We just saw Naruto and Shippuden. the expectations are going to be really high with the next one, right? It should be. And it's going to be a lot more harder because now the writers, Kishimoto put himself in a position where it's more peaceful times and shit. It's not like fucking watching Naruto or reading the manga or the anime where it's just nothing but fire and crazy and action right off the fucking bat, with the Zabuza shit and everything and you name it. So, like, either way, bottom line is that's like what I was going off and talking about. But anyways, to kind of backtrack a little bit, that would be incredible. But that's why... with Fugaku and everything, it would have been really interesting to see and so on. But so back to the cons, that's what it was. Since Fugaku doesn't have the feats to really support it, it's still contentious to a degree or really hard to accept or really engage or argue for in favor for Fugaku. Now, to be fair though, and I'm pretty sure you guys could agree with this as well, if Minato has statements, you name it, and he can perform the feats, I feel like it is kind of fair to accept that if Fugaku has certain statements in that line in a similar capacity, that even though he doesn't have the feats, it's more than likely he could perform them, if you get what I'm saying. But then again, it's not there, so it is what it is, whether if you accept it or not. Now, what I will say, based off the joining Minato Yellow Flash, he is heavily, heavily, heavily compared to KCM1 Speed. Over and over and over and over and over. So... what we can at least infer, and we have other examples as well, fucking Bone Man and the old ass Lady Chio were still standing against the KCM1 Naruto, which is still really, really impressive because let's say joining Minato went to fight them or whatever, okay, somehow, some way, they could be able to manage and still be standing if it was like a clone of him or whatever. Like, it's interesting to think about. Now, I do think Minato would still wipe the floor and beat them. That's just me. Or Minato could probably be able to figure it out, whatever. Because, his flying Raijin, he just has more access to hacks, and he's just a really, really talented genius shinobi. Compared to Naruto, he's kind of a ding-dong, but he has really excellent combat IQ. But he's more of like a just charge straight on and try to beat the opponent, So, like, that's more the reason why Bone Man and that one chick were still standing, But still, you still have to have some level of relativity or some amount of like speed in order to not just get blitzed. Because if you analyze KCM1 Naruto in the war, in the anime and the manga, anytime Naruto appears, whether it's a clone or himself, he is shitting on whoever's in front of him until he eventually fights Nagato and Itachi and then Obito and so on and so forth. So everybody else just gets shitted on, except for the third Raikage. He didn't get shit on either. So like the fact that the third Raikage or Kimar, Bone Man and this other chick were still standing once the Edo Jutsu was released, that is really fucking impressive. So what I'm basically saying here is if he's being compared to like joining Yellow Flash Minato with the lore statements, whatever, yada yada, and that type of narrative implications, okay, and was even a candidate for the fourth Hokage, which we know at that time it was Orochimaru, Minato, and Fugaku then. I don't know anyone else, but Orochimaru was also considered a candidate, but he never got it because fucking,
He was deemed the Will of Fire.
The Will of Fire, and so on and so forth. And arguably as well, there's even other statements for this too. Whenever there's an Hokage in the village, even though this is contentious, but you guys know what I'm trying to connect this to, it's normally the strongest person in the village.
Powerful.
Normally, the most powerful.
Yeah.
And if we look at it that way, okay, you can kind of imply that, Minato was still maybe over Fugaku and Orochimaru, or you can imply that fucking, the whole thing with Uchiha, since they're not really fully trusted in the history, you name it, that's why they more than likely went with Minato, is the more safer route. Look at Orochimaru, They didn't go him because of his bullshitting and cuckoo-ness, so, what's it called? So, you can kind of say that, so meaning to, like, not allow people to downplay Fugaku or maybe whatever, or if you want to shoot back, you can go back to, look at Orochimaru. He was nowhere near Minato. Nowhere. Like, you look at the interaction with Itachi and Orochimaru gets fucking no-diffed. You know what I mean? And then you look at fucking, like, the whole comparison between those two. Like, even in the beginning of Part 1 Naruto, you name it, Minato is just on a whole other level, even compared to the Orochimaru. Like, what's her name? The fucking purple-haired chick? Yeah, the one that was trained by Orochimaru. She's like, oh man, like if only the fourth Hokage was here, we wouldn't have any fucking problems. He'd be taken care of, And there's just so much. Yeah, there's just so much you can go off. Like I have it all on my phone and everything as well. But another thing when like all the 3 Kages are being brought back, first and second are being brought back by Orochimaru. Hiruzen's like, oh fuck, whatever. He sees the third one. He's like, oh, I must not let the third one come at any fucking cost. Whatever, yada yada. Like.
One question about that though, right?
Yeah.
How was it possible that Orochimaru could summon the 4th during the Konoha Crush when Minato was in the fucking Reaper Death Seal World of Drunken Dreams? You know, like he didn't.
So
you could have.
So there is actually an answer for that. So it's in the war arc where they actually release the information, because this is why context is so important, and this is why it's very important. Like if you're debating someone, you need to make sure you know the context and know from everything from A to fucking Z, because if you don't, aka noodles and so on and so forth, rats or whatever, it can misconstrued and bullshit. Okay, in the war
Actually,
arc,
Batman, wait.
Yeah.
Obito is here as well. He asked me to ask you who is the Kabuki family, because it's your meme.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, let's hear it.
bro, the Kabuki family.
Yeah.
Fucking, it goes from like
Wait. It's called the Weeb family now, right?
Oh, maybe the
It's the Weeb family tree, yeah, technically, but it goes from Weeb because he's just the worst out of everything I've seen so far. Definitely the worst. He's just stupid. It's
see,
Weeb,
I told you.
Then it goes to Kabuki, and then it just spreads on and branches off like from left to right to downwards, and however you want to go.
The noodles, yeah.
Yeah, to noodles, you name it. What's it called? But at least what I can give Noodles at least is he's very good at knowing how to set up and do arguments to make it more believable for the you know what I mean, the third party audience, the people that are not really that familiar with Naruto or whatever.
Noodles knows.
Yeah, he's smart. He's a smart version of rat and bullshit. But anyway, so to answer, those two are just retarded. But at least Kabuki, he would understand certain things that, at least in my opinion, like especially real life shit that are common sense. That's just me.
That nigga cannot attack an argument for shit though.
Like, all right, if we told Kabuki, hey, you understand that 100% of your muscle capacity makes you more stronger and faster, he would say yes. He would say yes. I know he would. I would give him.
He would.
Weave, on the other hand, is like no. Like, come on.
Yeah, that nigga's retarded. He's retarded.
Or better yet, thinks Dwayne Johnson beats Usain Bolt in a race. Like, come on, bro.
Because he has bigger muscles.
Literally. So, like, come on. But anyways, so back to answer your question. That's actually a really good question. I'm glad you asked that. Because I didn't even know this originally. So you're right. So the reason why they released the statement, it's during when either Orochimaru was back or it was during when Kabuto was talking to Obito with the Rinnegan, to where basically what they say is the reason why Minato wasn't able to be brought back during the Konoha Crush arc was because his soul was trapped in the Reaper Death. It wasn't because Hiruzen stopped it, okay? It was because his soul wasn't bound to the living world, so it wasn't going to be successful no matter what. That is why it never happened. So meaning when Hiruzen says, oh, I managed to stop the third one, blah, blah, whatever.
Yeah, he tried to, yeah.
That's a bunch of bullshit because whether if he could or not, I'm not going to argue the schematics of that, whatever. Maybe he could have still stopped it, but it didn't happen, period. Regardless,
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because it's literally stated verbatim because his soul was in the Reaper thing. And that's, yeah, and it's even shown and further proved with the Hokage being brought back.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Yep. Okay, cool.
So
I'm glad you're on. Yeah, because like you didn't have information until the war arc how to like unrelease the Uzumaki's Fuinjutsu. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, but no, that's a really good point to bring up, and that's the main reason why. But either way, the reason why I was pulling it up is there's a lot of things you can kind of use for Minato to where he was just always valued or looked at on like a higher pedestal, always. You know what I mean? Similar to Madara, similar to certain individuals, you name it, or whatever. Like he was that guy. Okay. But either way, and obviously, regardless, you could always be like, oh well. At that point, maybe he just said he didn't want to get the third one brought back because obviously fighting 2 people is better than fighting 3 fucking Hokage level opponents. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? So, there's ways you can kind of combat it as well, but, it's really supported heavily because that's not the only one either. There's just so much more. So, it all connects. But anyways, so to finish this off with Fugaku, if you look at all that with Minato and you look at him and everything and whatnot, it's in a sense you could be able to apply a certain level of scaling for him into where who he can kind of combat against, who he can maybe win or fight, whatever, yada yada. That's kind of how you get like that level line of scaling. And then not only that, especially if you give him the Migekyo, regardless if you think he only has 3 Tomo or not, if you give him the Migekyo and shit, with his Genjutsu, you name it, like the guy, he's gonna be fucking strong. Like he's going to be strong. You would add Susanoo. He'd have crazy Genjutsu. We don't even know what his 2 abilities were, so imagine who knows what that fucking was. Maybe it was like a Genjutsu that was pretty crazy as well. Maybe better than Tsukime. I don't know. We don't fucking know. But either way, he's respected for a reason. So I'm gonna play this one more time. I'm gonna give my thoughts just very shortly and briefly on each thing. You guys can tag along in. Nobody has to wait. You can just join in whenever, and then we'll go from there.
War, his Genjutsu earned him a do not engage order and the nickname Wicked Eye Fugaku Uchiha. Danzo
Okay, so that's the first thing. I'm pretty sure nobody has a problem with that. Like, I don't have any fucking problem with that. Now, the only thing I'm going to say up front, though, is the whole Genjutsu thing. I was a little bit, is that more from the novels or something? Because I wasn't really that familiar with that. But I know the Wicked Eye name and that he was feared, the whole world, you name it, like run on sight. I did know that, at least. And that is legit. You guys have anything on that or no?
I didn't know he had that though. Yeah.
Okay.
Acknowledged him as being a generational genius, and his abilities were mentioned in the same breath as the legendary Sani.
Okay, now this, it's fine and respectable, and I don't really care about it. But it's interesting because I don't remember him being compared to legendary Sonic. I remember Sakamo Hatage being greater than the legendary Sonic, similar like to some Hanzo shit. So this was interesting. I'm assuming this maybe was either from the novel or something, or maybe I just don't remember it from the anime.
If I remember correctly, he's compared to them right when they're trying to come up with candidates for the Kage.
Oh, okay.
So it's like near the end of the war.
Yeah, but it's either way. Like it just caught me off guard because I didn't expect that. But either way, it's not a bad thing. I mean, like obviously, I'm not saying Naruto explain is just making shit up. Like he does his homework. He'll say things. The only point where you have to kind of use your Naruto brain is when there's certain things he may say that whether if he means it or not, or maybe it's just his interpretation, I don't know, where he can be, not purposely, but, misconstruing something or misunderstanding in a way, but it is what it is.
And
okay.
What's up?
I was going to just say, if he was being compared to the Sani during him as a candidate for Hokage, that would mean he scales above them than when they versed Hanzo in the second war, so they're probably more developed and more stronger as shinobi during his candidacy, essentially. So his power, if that is true, then it's definitely one to be revered,
Yeah. And another thing, too, with that, too, is, like, this is actually interesting. When I was reading through the beginning of Naruto and the manga with the color version instead, just to have more detail and stuff as well, fucking like when Jiraiya is first introduced, he doesn't just say like I'm the legendary Sonic. He says I'm the legendary sage of Mount Mubuku, or fucking I can't say the goddamn word. While the frogs are and shit. And that was interesting to me because when he first is introduced and has all that, you know what I mean? Like I only remembered him saying that when he was fighting against Pain. He's like, I'm no longer the legendary Sonic. I am now the sage, blah blah whatever. So I always took like, okay, sometime in Shippuden or whatever, Jiraiya was more on considered like a different level of scaling because Sage mode, yada yada, whatever, yada yada. But when I really remembered and looked at Jiraiya, he started practicing Sage mode when he was a little kid.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't remember when he accomplished it or when he did it. Maybe it was when he was older, whatever. Or maybe he always had it at his disposal, but obviously it was imperfect because he had the futures and everything. But it was still strong. But it wasn't near like fucking Naruto and shit.
I think when he was training Minato, like as his like pupil, I think he already had.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had Sage mode.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it would be weird for him not to because like when he's first introduced to Naruto, and I feel like a lot of people either miss this. I could look more into it. I'm not saying this is 100% true either, but like when he's first introduced, he literally says all about Sage, nothing about him like Sonic, whatever, and everybody knows he's a fucking Sonic. But he's like basically announcing himself like, yeah, I'm the fucking, from, the Frogland, blah, blah. I'm that guy. What's up, bro? So, and I was like, It's like that can kind of give you an implication that he more than likely already has Sage mode, even at this point and throughout a certain amount of time when you look into it, if that makes sense. So I don't know. It was just interesting to me when I saw that, but that's just me. And then he's always summoning frogs and you name it and all that other bullshit. All his hacks techniques with frogs, So I feel like it's really weird to say he doesn't have Sage Mode at that time and he only has it in Shippuden. That's just me though. And obviously, if you grant that, that's a next level of transformation, and that's what kind of makes the Sonic really fucking powerful. Is their next level of transformation, So, but that's just me. But I don't know how you guys feel on that, but just saying.
I think when it comes to that scaling, I think they're talking base, not their Sonic Plus modes. Because it's really questionable, even if he has it at that point, who would know that he has it? Since it doesn't seem like Jiraiya uses it a lot.
Yeah, Paw. Technically Paw and shit and all that. But I feel you, yeah, exactly. That's not a problem. Or Minato, but Minato's dead and shit, so. But yeah, so let's continue.
Until Namikaze, to the point where he was on the short list of 4th Hokage candidates after the Third Ninja War. Strong enough in Genjutsu that he was confident he could control the Nine Tails, and he was able to bring...
So the whole thing with the Nine Tails, I don't really have an issue with that either, especially if you grant him a Mangekyo and all that as well, because bro, he has a fucking Mangekyo. Come on, we can see Itachi. We know Itachi could just do it with 3 Tomo. Obito did it with 3 Tomo. Madara does it with 3 Tomo. You know what I mean? It's really weird to say, other members of the Uchiha clan can't control the Nine Tails if they're not strong enough. You know what I mean? There's people dead ass out there that only believe Madara and Obito were the only ones that could have ever done it. And that's just blatantly not true. If it came down to Itachi trying to do it, I believe he could do it. If it came down to Shisui, I believe he could do it. Sasuke even has a statement. It's actually stated twice. It's stated by Itachi in the Shippuden and by Sasuke that, okay, now I see the legendary power of the fucking Sharingan with the Uchiha. So this is why, we're so feared, whatever. And talking about himself, I could have been able to control Naruto's Kyuubi. You know what I mean? That was the whole plan and shit. And it's even further supported in the manga and anime where the whole idea was for Sasuke to control Naruto's Nine Tails just in case if shit got bad. And things like that. And mind you, at that time, Sasuke only had 3 Tomo. He didn't have a fucking Mangekyo. You know what I mean? And shit like that and whatnot. And Itachi's over here saying yeah, bro, one of the benefits to Mangekyo, blah, blah, when you have it is you can be able to control the Nine Tails, yada, yada, etc. So, it's just, there's all that stuff to kind of go off with, so this whole thing right here, I don't really have an issue. By all means, I'm you know what? Yeah, I can definitely believe it. It's fucking Fugaku, bro. Come on. You know what I mean? So... Well,
I'm not going to say anything against anything else, but as far as the Sasuke, you got to keep in mind that I was only half of the Nine Tails.
Oh, no, I know that. What's it called? Yeah, you're talking about, when he does the fucking, to Naruto... When they first see him and shit, there's a portion or a little bit of chocolate, little juice. But no, and that was just him suppressing the power. But no, I wasn't even talking about that. It's when Sasuke's talking with Itachi, and Sasuke kind of talks in about it, about being able to control the Nine Tails and whatnot. And then Itachi. Yeah.
No, I'm well aware. But I'm saying what Sasuke knows that Naruto has, that power is only half of it. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't think Sasuke at that point could control the full Nine Tails.
Oh, okay. So you're saying he could do the half, but not more than likely not the full. That's what you're saying. He would need Mangekyo. Do you believe that or what?
I think if you have a strong enough Sharingan, I think you could control it. Yeah. Itachi, Madara, Obito, obviously. I think Fugaku could probably control it with their 3 Tomo.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I don't think Sasuke at that point could control it with only 3.
Okay. That's fair. I feel you. So that, like I said, I'm pretty sure you guys are in the same boat. I don't have any issues with that. That's pretty fair to think. Either way, at the end of the fucking day, the Sharingan is fucking strong as fuck. You know what I mean? Especially if you have Mangekyo. You know what I mean? It's really, really weird to think if you have Mangekyo that you can't control the Nine Tails. It's just... I don't know.
Itachi
there's so many statements and implications for it.
Down to his knees with only Genjutsu. Even Itachi wasn't sure
Now that I have an issue with. Now when he says he brought Itachi to his knees with just Genjutsu.
Never happened.
So it did happen in the anime, but the problem with that is you could argue easily and be well, the reason why Itachi fell to his knees is because you just showed him a future tense vision of you controlling the Nine Tails with your Sharingan. Like Naruto's a little bit grown. You release the half the Nine Tails, okay, and then you fucking destroy the whole village and just to control and rule it. And so then Itachi's like crying and falls to his knees. So if anything, I'm pretty sure that's more to imply that was more of like a psychological, like, oh fuck, like why, father? Like that's not cool. Like we all know Itachi at this point is like a pacifist, like he's not about violence, conflict, or war. He literally was in war when he was 4 years old. So like you could easily argue, but like no, that was just more of an emotional response to it. That wasn't like due to his power. Or Fugaku like overpowering him with genjutsu or fucking him up with genjutsu. That was just more of a just like I said, emotional psychological response to that. He literally showed him a vision of the village being destroyed and everybody being killed. Like what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, and it's your father showing you this shit and you're having this discussion. So that's my only problem with that. I don't know about you guys how you feel, but so that I feel like is a little bit of a stretch. Like it's kind of ratting in my opinion, but that's just me. No offense to Naruto Explain either, because I don't know. When it comes, I'm gonna be real with you guys. When it comes to these Naruto content creators, I swear to God, they're watching my shit like a fucking hawk. I don't know why, but they literally watch my shit, and just random moments, I'll either get comments on my YouTube or DMs or whatever, and like I have to be careful for what I.
Bro, they see you as a threat.
Like, and it's so stupid. It's so stupid. Like either
they see you as a threat, bro.
Either that or it's just their ego or whatever fucking reason. But like, it's so weird. But I've been realizing that lately. It's like if I'm reacting to your shit or if I'm saying something, it's not because I hate you. It's not because I think I have the bigger dick or I'm right or whatever. It's just me because I love Naruto, bro. Like, chill out. Like, fucking A, bro.
Bro, off the top of my head, 6, you have Speeder, and now you have Aeroflame. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so, like, I don't know. But there's been a lot of fucking YouTube content creators that have been hitting me up, talking, or just certain weird, it's not that it's weird. I don't know. It's just, I'm not going to get into it, but there's a certain thing. So, if you're watching Naruto Explain, I love you, blah, blah, whatever. And just remember that one time we were talking about when you were talking about pain and shit, and I had your back with that, and you said you loved me and blah blah. So all right, good memories. So from here, what's it called? We're gonna keep playing it and go from here.
He could defeat his father in a one-on-one battle on the night of the Uchiha massacre. The same Itachi would go on to one-shot Orochimaru only a few months later in the timeline.
So this is also the second problem I have. So
that ain't the same Itachi, bro.
That's not the same Itachi. So the Itachi that is literally in the fucking Uchiha massacre gear, that's talking with his dad or going to kill the fucking Uchiha clan, that Itachi, for millions of reasons, is not the same. I'm not going to list every single reason. I'm going to entertain this a little bit. You guys give your thoughts and just explain very briefly why that Itachi is not the same as Akatsuki Itachi when he's nearly blind and about to die.
Yeah, I don't think he's talking about. Yeah, go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
Thanks. I don't think that Itachi has the sadness amp that Uchiha get when they killed their best friend or family member or loved one.
No,
that's one reason. And we already know how one of those amps makes Uchiha very strong.
Yeah, like hatred and stuff developing and make your society bad. And...
That's true, yeah. But I think you got this wrong.
Not even hatred, just like any emotion.
Just loss, like just pain,
But
not even pain. Look at Sarda.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you got it wrong, though. I think you got it wrong.
What's up?
I don't think he means the Sigitachi. He means the one that fucking no-diff to Orochimaru when he joined.
So you're talking about Itachi when he first joins the Akatsuki. Okay.
Well, I think it's the sick Itachi he's talking about, considering the fact that we're looking at it on the screen.
I know. I think the visual representation has a different connotation than what he means. I think he's specifically talking about the Orochimaru that he put in a 3-to-moe genjutsu and just no dips in.
And if that's the case, then that's fine.
He said few months.
Yeah.
He said few months, bro.
Yeah.
Not 5 years.
Like,
actually, not 5. It's like 7
Yeah.
or 8.
The visuals are definitely.
Oh yeah, he did say that too. Yeah. Fuck it, I missed that. He said a couple months. Yeah. So he's more likely talking about that. Okay, so then that's fine. We don't even have to fucking get into it. But I'm about to say, I was like, wait a minute, like, because I'm like, like that. This Itachi is way like as crazy as it sounds. This Itachi right here with the Totsuka blade is way more fucking stronger than the one that is not blind and, you know, what's it called? Or just got his Mangekyo and you name it. So, what's it called? But all right, we'll leave it there and keep going.
Line. Sasuke Uchiha might be one of the strongest ninja who have.
Okay, that's a whole other fucking video. Yeah, it's over. But anyways, so that'll basically be that. Let me get Discord pulled through. But yeah, so other than that, do you guys have any other thoughts for your boy Fugaku? Anything else you can kind of think of? Whatever, yada yada.
Fully on site.
Yeah,
There's no feature statements, bro. Look at Fugaku, bro. Like, yeah.
I think okay. So the question is, can he beat Kakuzu?
Absolutely.
Oh,
I'd say he would. Fuck that guy.
No, what does he do?
Anything like Minato, then yeah.
Yeah, if he's anything like Minato, then yes. I don't see why he wouldn't be able to.
Wait, Batman, doesn't Kakuzu beat Minato and Pain at the same time?
Yeah,
Yes,
actually,
he
yeah.
does.
Yeah,
That is
actually,
true.
yeah.
Damn,
Yeah,
Hokage Minato?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Bro.
Question that.
And Pain.
Yep,
And
Pain
Pain.
at the same time. Full power Pain too, mind you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Nagato at the same time.
Exactly. The best one is fucking Zetsu's over here clapping up KCM, Minato, Pain, and Kakashi at the same time.
Yeah.
Bro, watch. Noodles is going to say that Kakuzu would scale to a new era character. Watch.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that. I'm actually.
Well, I think I've said this like many times, but fucking I have it on my DMs. He literally said Kakuzu's multiversal, and he believes that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not joking. Like, he said that shit. I'm like, wait. I'm like, wait. Like, are you trolling? Blah blah, whatever. Yada. He's like, no. Like, I see what you're saying with Jiraiya, how can be, you know, like universal, blah blah. What's it called? But Kakuzu, he's multiversal, and I'm like, what?
Jiraiya?
Yeah. The reason why I was fucking with him back, ratting, and I'm like, yo, look at this data book statement where it says Jiraiya has bottomless, limitless fucking power. You blah blah. Like, it was this whole thing, and he's like,
The only Jiraiya I can think of is the alternate timeline that they travel to in the Boruto anime. That is it.
Yeah. But either way, that's what I was kind of saying. Like, and I was bringing up some things from that. I'm like, bro, like, Jiraiya's just that guy. Like, he has infinite power, whatever, blah blah. And he's like, okay, but you know what infinite power means, right? I'm like, what? He's like, that's only universal. I'm like, what?
What?
What? And so it just got to that whole thing, and then eventually he like talks about like why Kakuzu is fucking multiversal, and I didn't even like engage all that. I was like, you know what, bro, I'm not even gonna fucking do that with you. Like, you believe whatever the fuck you want to believe.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So I think we're done with Fugaku. We'll continue on to the next. Now I'm not gonna make the announcement next. I'll let you guys try to have fun with this one. What is another character you could think of that you think should be discussed for this podcast, that's either downplayed a lot or victimized or not really understood very well, and etc. or whatever?
Gosh.
I got something, but it's not related to this.
Okay.
When you mentioned Naruto Explained, right?
Yeah.
I remember months ago when you asked me if I watch him, and I told you no.
Mm-hmm.
I never explained it because it wasn't required, but I don't watch him because he clickbaits, bro. And he didn't do that before, but he does it now.
Yeah, I've realized that. I don't even watch that shit either, because most of those hang on.
Like, every fucking video is that, bro. I can just go onto that channel, look at it.
Give me one
and
second,
basically
bro.
half of those videos.
I got fucking Spider-Man from Naruto right now just looking at me, like making webs and shit, and I'm about to fuck his ass up Neji style. Give me one moment.
Yeah, okay.
I'm trying to think of a good character that we haven't gone over right.
Yo, Batman, give him the rotate. Give him the rotation.
The rotation, bro.
Palm him.
Unironically, I was going to throw out Neji as a candidate.
Neji? Oh.
Underrated though. I don't know.
Kage? I mean, Kid Neji be Kage level though. So.
Yeah, he's faster than
Put in the
Hiruzen.
data book, right? He's faster than Hiruzen.
Yeah, he's faster than Hiruzen, bro.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a good one though, bro. Like, fuck, man.
Kakuzu.
We already did sorcery.
Kakuzu's underrated.
What about like Prime Chia, maybe?
Nah, Warlock Sakura would be underrated as fuck though. I won't lie.
I don't think so anymore, man. There's so much discussion and like Madara these days, you know.
Nah, bro. You don't know the downplay until you see it.
Oh, I know the downplay, bro. Trust me. I've heard this plenty of times, dude. Fuck, dude.
Look. Boruto Sakura, right? She's fourth dimensional. She can fly, and she can kill anybody with a shockwave.
And she's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.